it's not a clear-cut victory here. And we don't even have any time for analysis on our side. We're getting right into the match, so let's go ahead and do our job, fellas.
Yeah, this is a pretty quick start as well. They're just instantly taken up in B apartments, running a couple of people on the pass for some mid-control here. Guardian looking for an opening, very aggressive here, trying to put Luminosity on the back foot already. Guardian trying to push up there, a bit of a dangerous fight. It's going to be Seized to pick up the first kill there, taking out Taco, so that leaves in a 4-on-5.
Oh, wow, they aren't even backing off NaVi. They're still willing to take the fight. Flash in, and it's a bit too late. Fallen decides to just go jumping in with the first block, and Guardian's going to be able to take him out. Seized, gets caught on the window, but he rotates off as well, and Edward's there to back him. Zeus, it's just a total fist fight that's happening up in the apartments right now. NaVi, they refuse to give up this bomb site to Luminosity.
And because of the aggression of where they've taken this fight, it's allowed so much rotation to come in. Luminosity can't regain this map control. They're now over here and they're just stuck in these halls. They know they're surrounded. There's not really too many options available to them at this point.
No, this is going to have to come down to NaVi making a big mistake, and that could be one of them there. Seized walking right into the Glock shot for. Going to be able to pick up a second kill of the round for himself. FNX is the only, there's got to be the candidate here. He's also very good in the clutch, so we've got to see if he can actually make this work. He's got the Glock surely, but they only have one flashbang to set this up with. And first in the back line here, going to be popped on over, and it actually works quite well on Zeus, at least forces him back a bit. Now just 28 seconds left, and Edward looking for a bit of a click for picking up a third kill. This is somehow slipping out of NaVi's hand, even though they were in a fantastic position. But there's still an HE grenade on Edward. It's going to go wider for. He's still alive here. FNX doing more. Fur landing a quad kill. He's finally going to be going down, and now FNX, he's got all the chance in the world here, trying to see if he can fight it, or Flamey coming through. Double kill for him, saves the round for NaVi.
Such a sick play by Luminosity to even get into the bomb site. I mean, they do punish Seized on that push, but because of the aggression of NaVi, they couldn't really fall back. They don't know if anyone's flanking them. They were just kind of trapped in those halls, but they still make it work, taking those fights. And that bomb plan is almost, I mean, almost winning that round, but that bomb plan is just huge. That's exactly what they could have done in that situation.
Luminosity just did a very good job of slowing down the game. NaVi, they had all the momentum going their way. They had control of the situation. Had they just kind of committed to it for an FNX, they would have run into a fired up NaVi ready to hit the shots. The fact that they ran down that clock so much allowed for NaVi to cool off, and then Fur obviously just goes ham in the clock. I mean, he actually manages to make it possible for it to be that 1v1. So huge play from Fur to start things off already. But NaVi, as you guys can see, nearly full rifles across the board. And they aren't even cheating too much with the SMGs. It's only Edward going for one.
I'm wondering if NaVi didn't have a conversation before this game started saying, let's come out, you know, just swinging. Let's make sure that we're super aggressive. And maybe that's why Seized thought, I'm going to keep going because this was our game plan, you know, just keep pushing on, keep putting on the pressure. And it did almost cost them here. But this time NaVi not having any issues cleaning up against this this pistol round.
Yeah, they're doing a fine job.
Yeah, they did kind of seem like they, even yesterday in the semis against Astralis, they seemed like they had this mindset where it's like they're known as the much more slow-paced, calculated team, you know, letting the clock wind down before they make their move. But against Astralis, and even here, this early aggression, maybe believing that it's going to try and catch some of their opponents off guard by just getting hyper-aggressive in the early portions of these rounds.
Now, both of these teams are known for their slow pace, their tactical approach to the game. It's not so much rush out of them. It's much more about map control and then executing a clean strat once they figured out where they want to go. But the chant has begun, and it's the first buy round coming in here for Luminosity. Fallen, he had just enough money for that AWP with the Kevlar to go with it. 4 rifles picked up, very light on the nades, and Flamey, he's actually going to get the dunk shot in. Guardian gets tagged down at 22. And it's just tit for tat so far. They're so low on NaVi. If Luminosity can catch Flamey or Guardian out of position, this could go their way still.
Mid-control now for Luminosity, but they are down a player. But look at all the damage that's been done on Flamey and Guardian. They can get back into this very, very easily, but while these smokes are up, there's not too much visibility. They don't have a lot of intel, so they've got to just bide this out for a little bit longer. Still plenty of time on the clock. Fallen looking to punish a mistake.
Oh, yeah, and Edward, he's thinking about it. Edward, he's got in his head that he might want to go for that shoulder peek, but he decides, no, we don't actually have any eyes on mid. And it is a pretty high percentage of the time that Fallen, you know, he likes to camp there and just sit and wait for somebody to peek.
And also, Luminosity don't have any grenades. If they had a smoke for window here, maybe they could actually force that peek just by putting up the smoke, because then Edward would have sort of had to have gone and looked. But all they have is a single Molotov here, so
there it is.
Now he's finally walked past, which is really poor timing for Luminosity. Edward in a good position here, but Cold Sierra, that's a peek with a Galil as well. He's going to win the next fight, taking out Flamey, and he's very good on this map. So right now, NaVi, they've got to be worried, even though it's a 2-on-3. Seized in the back line by the benches here, and the bomb is still making its way over there. There's 35 seconds, so if they wanted to rotate back, they definitely could. Fur going to be going down, all on Cold Sierra.
You can see the patience of Cold, though, too. Just trying to cut off rotations, and now he's in such a tough spot.
Yeah, and Zeus just heard the step. Zeus heard that landing, and so he was close enough. We already see a little bit of a rotation coming out from NaVi, but Cole's going to win the first duel straight up. Tries to get back out into the window. 15 seconds left. This isn't a whole lot of time. He doesn't have much room for error here. And the chant begins. Can he get it? No. Guardian
10 seconds.
has everything going for him, basically, coming out onto short like that. There just wasn't enough time for Cole to maneuver.
I mean, you nailed it. No nades to work with whatsoever in that round. So the early buy on that third round, despite having the money with it for the AWP, not able to get anything done with it. You can see how patient they're trying to play it. Just allow one duel to be won over that B bomb site, and then Cold's position gets so much better in that window room on Catwalk, trying to cut off rotations, trying to see if you can get one more pick before they could commit. But without nades, they're in such a tough spot to find that opening kill.
The money for NaVi not quite looking good enough yet to take any kind of losses, and Luminosity, I mean, maybe they could have gone for like Tech 9 Force up here, just trying to see if they could just shut him out early. Seems like they, on the other hand, are playing a slightly more safer game. They're just buying a little bit here, but not too much, and Seized is gonna spot the first engagement here, and they're actually trying to run up behind. He's reloading. They're getting very close right now. He has to fall off the ledge, and they're just raining down on the bomb side. Way too many people coming in. Edward going to pick up the one kill, but it should be a bomb plant. And with Fur getting that shot on Edward, NaVi have got to be worried. This should be an easy cleanup round for them, and suddenly it's gone south already, and Luminosity, they're dug into this bomb site here. This after plant, NaVi, they're a man down, trying to see if they can make their way in soon. So many angles. He got down to Cold Sierra. Flamey and Guardian finally with some return kills, and Flamey with the SMG. Oh, he's doing so much work. It's gonna be the triple kill. Flamey saving them, just like in the pistol round. That puts him at a 10-0-1 scoreline.
But another sick round from Luminosity, doing so much with so little. Just a couple flashbangs completely catch out that B defense. Plant 3 kills. You mentioned it before the round started. The money does not look great for NaVi. They're still after this buy. They're gonna be fine with what they can have in this round, but their money is going to be a little bit low. It's a very dangerous situation still where Luminosity, they've lost 4 in a row, but a single win is going to reset that money.
This has got to be a pretty good feeling for NaVi, though, considering all eyes are on Guardian. The video describing NaVi at the beginning, huge Guardian focus. Flamey, he is definitely a big part of why NaVi are here right now in this grand finals. He continues to deliver on that rifle, and he's off to a terrific start here on this first map. 4 rounds, he's already up to 10 frags, and now Luminosity, they're able to buy again, and this time they have a few more nades to work with. It doesn't look like they actually want to waste too much time. Fallen is going to go for the aggressive peek, looking into jungle, but they're committing to this A site. Not a nade to tell NaVi to get them prepared for this push. Luminosity, they're already rushing out. Flamey will find the kill on a Fur, but there's Cold and Taco, bringing it back to a 3-on-3.
Still no bomb plant. FNX is putting it down. There's not even a smoke for CT spawns. That's a massive risk to take, but it works out. So is putting 3 people out of apartments without any grenades, but that worked as well. And with Cold actually still lurking in middle, this is going to be a very tough retake for NaVi. C's going to get a good kill in there. Fallen up in the apartments, and now that Cold has gone down, he has a bit of an issue here. They do not have, and that misses the grenade. They still get the kill. Zeus to pick up a triple. With that missed Molotov, that could have gone horribly wrong.
So many kills going out, and this is Luminosity. They've had 3 plants in these first 5 rounds, and they can't win any of the post plants. You can see Fallen, that missed Molotov, he's almost so excited to see it because he wants to peek. He knows he has the chance there, but Zeus with a very, very quick shot. So 5-0 quickly for the defense on the NaVi side.
Yeah, Zeus isn't even a primary opper for NaVi, so the fact that he can hit the shots like that, it's huge. And man, basically the frustration is going to be mounting here for Luminosity because, as you said, right, we're getting 3 plants, we're getting the plant down. What's going on, guys? Like, how is this actually happening that we're not able to hold on to these bomb sites, even when we're in favorable positions? NaVi keep finding a way to win out. Well, Guardian once again in window, but I love it. This is a 6 strat coming out. They're just covering all short with smokes. Unfortunately for them, Edward, he's in his favorite spot. He's just sitting on the other side, not a flash to, well, basically hinder him at all. Instead, they just run right into the blender, but Cold is still alive, and he takes out Edward to bring it back to a 3-on-4.
This is a good start. Fallen going to be getting the first kill of the grand finals for himself here as Guardian goes down. It's now a 3-on-3. They need this round, Luminosity. They can't let NaVi keep getting away with it. Even the 2-on-3 is winnable. Shot like that, it does actually tag up Flamey, but not enough to get the kill. The bomb is down on the site, so they have to commit to this. There's no rotating anywhere else, even if they have the time. And Cold, is he going to be the one to open it up? He's sneaking quite far in there, right on the edge. What a peek. Crouches into the angle, and Seized is going to be going down. Fallen, he had the angle for it there, but can't take the shot. Cold Zero winning another duel there, and it's going to be a triple. Well, it's a 1v2 for Cold Zero turned into a 1v1. You can hear the crowd in the background as well. The bomb is on the side. He's got 40 seconds now and trying to see if he can make it into kitchen. Flamey has got to be wondering, where is this going to come from? He finds the perfect angle. and he will be able to steal the round again. That's now 3 rounds that have come down to Flamey getting the final kills here. And again, 12, 1, and 2 for him.
This is why he's considered, the Des talked about it, one of the best players in the world. This is why NaVi is considered one of the best teams in the world. Everyone on this team is rising to the occasion when needed, and another clutch goes away from Luminosity, and now you got to start feeling. With this dominant defense so far, when does the timeout come in for Luminosity? If they don't win this next round, it's going to be so difficult for them. Down 7-0, that's when they'll probably take the tactical. Because they've tried slow pace strategies. They've tried to switch up the pace as well. Nothing's worked so far.
Yeah, if they don't get a plant here, I think there has to be a fail-safe where if you're up 7-0, you have to call for the timeout. Very quick change of pace coming in here for Luminosity, making their way onto the A site, not wasting any time, not waiting for the smoke to clear on Pit, but it is going to be Edward to find the first kill, and it's cold already down here for Luminosity, so now it's up to Fur, it's up to FNX. They need to step up to make the difference. Flamey will still take one with them. Zeus chimes in, but somehow it's still a 3-on-2. They're cutting it very close.
Well, that's an easy kill there. Guardian very low. He was allowed to live for a lot longer because, again, they didn't have any grenades going to the bomb site. Now it's the afterplant again. And NaVi, they've been winning every single one so far. Could they do it a 7th time here? C's going to be picking up and taking out Fallen, just spraying with that M4A1. And FNX in the corner. He's out of the open here. He still wins the fight. Goes for the peek. He knows Edward's there. He sprays. And there it is. He gets the triple kill. And Luminosity are in the grand finals finally. It's going to be 6-1. Showing a little bit of sign of life here.
Yeah, and who more fitting to win that round than FNX? A player who doesn't always have the numbers of Cold, of Fur, of Taco recently, but he's possibly one of the biggest impact players they have. The amount of times this guy can just get the crucial kills in rounds and turn everything around, it's crazy. So, I mean, you expect nothing less out of him in that situation.
Yeah, every team has that kind of player that with that quality. Crims for Fnatic, you know, Rain for FaZe, FNX. He always comes through in the clutch, it seems, for Luminosity, but this time Navi are the ones changing up the pace, and they're going to go aggressive in Palace. 1-for-1 trade as Edward peeks into Pit. He takes out Fur, but he gets dropped down to 12 HP. Cold down on 20, and it's seized instead to find Taco, and that was up in B apartments. So now Luminosity, they're at a bit of a loss as to what to do here.
It says a lot about this half so far for Luminosity that after 6 rounds, Navi has a scout. They're already basically out of nades. They have one more flashbang on Zeus. Guardian's grabbing a lot of information in the middle right now, and he's going to spawn out Fallen in the open. Takes the duel, but can't win it initially, and eventually that's FNX again. With a huge kill, and Fallen a second one.
That was a sick frag from Fallen. Brings it back. And now they have the man advantage, Luminosity, going on to the A side. It looks like Cold, he's been hanging around in Palace this entire time. He's got eyes on it. And Edward, if he comes through jungle, Cole's going to have the angle on him, so this could get a little dicey here for Navi.
They just needed one bullet on Fallen, and that would have been it. They would have had a great position to be in there. This crowd is definitely fantastic today. Seized and Edward here, and Edward on very low HP. 40 seconds. They have one Molotov, so they can sort of force him back a bit, but they don't have the full smoke coverage, and that will definitely make a difference here as Luminosity head onto the A bomb site. And surely now Navi, they must have heard it. Seized getting into position just with the scout, as you were pointing out here. Edward going to be traded quickly now. Both the Luminosity members low on health, but he misses the first shot. Tech 9 up. He's going to get Cold Zero, and now it's a one-on-one. With just 17 seconds, and people are getting the chant going. Fallen, he has to pick up the bomb. He's got 10 seconds. He can't play this game for too much longer. Otherwise, Seized is going to be able to run up close, pick up the bomb, and just get the kill. Jumping once with the scout. That's going to be enough. He's behind the boxes. Seized. Is he going to risk it? He gets closer instead. 1 second to get that plant, and now Seized. A bullet for either player is all that's going to make the difference here. Fallen hiding behind the boxes. They need that second round. Luminosity is going to reset them, and there it is. The captain of the Brazilian team picking up a second kill for himself, and that'll make it 6-2.
Playing such a dangerous game, and actually Luminosity that round, late in the late stages of that round, they played so smart. Fallen incredibly low is the first one to come up A ramp. He's there. If he gets hit by any bullet, he dies, but that'll at least get the information over to his teammates of where they need to peek from Palace for. He doesn't end up falling, and he wins the round so close. He played that so patiently with only a few seconds left on that plant.
Really hoping for Seized to make the mistake there. But again, Fallen, there's also another saying, which is that Fallen always comes through for Luminosity when they're down, and it's a big round. So you have FNX with the clutch. Nice little pop flash here. Fur completely caught off guard. Edward will find the kill eventually, but he's not expecting FNX to be there. So they do bring it back. Fallen takes out Guardian. That was on short, and now they actually have control of the situation. Although Taco, he's lurking in Palace. He's going to see this double push. He's not going to spot the second man, however. Flamey, he's going to be able to pick up an AK, and now Flamey with an AK, we know how dangerous he can be.
Yeah, that's never a weapon you want to be able to give up. At least he has no armor, very susceptible to aim punch, but meanwhile, Luminosity is going around towards the other bomb site. They're going over towards B, and now Cold spotted out C's and windows, so they have the intel on where the last 2 players are for NaVi. Luminosity, there should be a pretty clean win from here. The question is Flamey going to keep this AK-47, or is he going to try and do something with it? And right now, he's just playing passively at the A bomb site, so just going to try and hold this weapon into the next round.
Yeah, absolutely. He's only sitting on $2,000 right now. I mean, granted, they're going to go on their third loss round in a row, so they will be getting a decent amount of money, NaVi. But if he can hold on to the AK, that would be perfect, especially considering he's hitting so many shots right now, Flamey. That one-shot headshot potential could make the difference here for NaVi to get control back in this first half.
It was good communication as well, because you were pointing out they spotted Ceased in the window there, and FNX actually rotating into kitchen to catch him coming in, so... Yeah, there's a save chant going on as well, definitely. I mean, why not? Just, we got the more the better right now. We've got a stadium full of people. There really are not many seats left here. And Flamey, he has been playing out of his mind. I mean, does it worry you at all that we've got Flamey at 14 kills and then Guardian at 5? I mean, what happens if Guardian also sort of just, peeks back to his own level? They're already getting a bunch of rounds here, NaVi, and then if Guardian shows up, that's got to be a bit scary.
Yeah, I mean, anytime Guardian gets into that mode, anytime he shows up, it's a really scary situation for the opponent. But with Flamey as well, this is why they're just so dangerous at the moment.
What does this buy?
Out of NaVi?
Yeah.
They're going for it. This is very risky. They don't have a lot of utility behind it either.
No, and 2 of them don't have Kevlar. Hey, this is really a big play here. Flamey peeked out, but he had that nade into Palace that slowed Taco down just enough to make that safe. Guardian's now got the angle, though, and Taco, he's just trying to get a maximum amount of information. He knows now, okay, Guardian's got the angle on me, just heard the op shot. And so we have a general idea of where Guardian's playing from right now, but Fur, he's getting into position.
Look at how this mid control for Luminosity is so much more successful when they have the nades they need to utilize it. We saw it earlier in the half where they didn't have much smokes or Molotovs or flashbangs. Now it works perfectly for them.
They are going to make the play, it seems, into connector here. Edward might get caught off guard, and yes, Fur, instant headshot from him. Little does he know, however, Flamey's holding close, and if he overextends, exactly, that can happen. Guardian holding from CT with that AWP, lands the shot, does not miss the opportunity. And now with a minute left on this clock, Luminosity, they're in a 4-on-4. They still have some utility, however, they still have some nades to work with, so if they do choose to go for the execute, it is still possible.
That's so smart from Cold. Breaks the vent to force Zeus into a peek, but Zeus wins the battle anyways, so it doesn't work out for him. Just a 2-on-4 left.
NaVi getting back into this round in a really big way. Letting Fur that far up into connector can be really dangerous. That's such a central part of the map. So they got to be careful they don't let that happen too much, because surely Luminosity will exploit that if they realize that that is an option. But they're at least walking onto the bomb side without making much noise or even being discovered right now. There comes the spray, but oh, Flamey somehow still kills Fallen before Taco is able to reply. So what could have been a 2-on-3 is now just a 1-on-3 of Taco, and I don't see him really making that. This is going to be almost impossible with 10 seconds left. The bomb, he's just picking it up now, but then I don't think they're going to allow him. He can't even fake it in. There's Guardian getting the shot. Second kill of the round for him, and a 7-3 scoreline favoring NaVi here in the first half of the first map.
Yeah, that's sick stuff from Guardian. Playing it passively, getting a couple kills in the round. Just making sure that I mean, not even presenting himself to be killed and potentially lose that round, give Luminosity any kind of a window of opportunity to even take that win. So really good stuff from NaVi. And now, I mean, that broken, or that weak
This is what I thought. This is what I thought. He actually went for the wallbang tool booth. I was wondering, like, wait a second. I saw the wallbang signal there. He was jumping around.
Pretty sick.
Sick play.
Well, now look, I mean, this is 2 players over towards the A bomb site, 3 in these B halls. That's where the bomb is as well. Set up in a little bit of a default. And look at the buy, though. 3 Tech 9s on the Luminosity side, and they're going up against... There's 4 Molotovs left on NaVi. Whenever an execution does come in, it's looking like it might be a little bit of a fake with 2 members applying pressure to A. But actually, it's the B members who start things off, and they've got to run through so much fire.
They've got the bomb there as well, but they're actually just, to be his Taco, he's sacking himself, basically. He's trying to make as much noise over here as possible, and it has forced the rotation out of NaVi, but Guardian still going to be able to pick off FNX, and he realizes now the game is up. They lose a man in mid. The bomb is still making its way up through connector, and Taco trying to have an impact, and he is going to get the flank. Picks up one, and that opens it up for Fallen to come in for the second and the third. 2-on-2, but they're both so very low on HP, Luminosity.
But they're going to find Guardian just wandering around out in the open. How does that happen? Now it's all on Edward here, trying to see if he could walk in. He should have seen the gun barrel. He didn't, looking for the shot. He's going to get down one. He needs one more kill. Taco's there, and Edward going to be picking up the double kill, and NaVi, they win that round in spite of a great fake coming out of Luminosity.
Luminosity gets NaVi so disorganized. They have no idea what's coming. Taco, huge play from those vents, but it's Edward. And it is this, NaVi is just top to bottom, all their players. We saw Edward yesterday with a dominant match on Inferno against Astralis. Here, big clutch, 1-on-2 victory for him.
It doesn't seem like it's a misbuy, or is it? Taco instantly bought up with the AK and Kevlar, and he's got a couple of nades. It took quite a bit more time for Luminosity, for the rest of Luminosity to come into it, because they're very low on money right now. But again, Luminosity, they're not willing to give up on this. 1v1 clutch, they know that NaVi, they cannot have much money right now, so why not? If they can win here, they can turn the tide their way, and they've certainly got the aim right now. It keeps coming down to these clutch scenarios. At some point, Luminosity, they have to turn it their way.
It's a big risk, though, with this kind of a buy, with this low of money after this. This is not, you know, a high percentage round for them to win. So they might have to be right back onto a save if they can't take this one.
Well, they got the mid control so far. Edward is the only one sort of, I mean, not even keeping eyes on it necessarily, but just listening to what's going on. Zeus is in the window room on the other side. Cole looking for the opening shot here with the Tech 9, and he's going to win that fight. He didn't even look scared, just taking out Edward. And Taco right on the edge on the slope here. Flamey's on the other side. This is definitely not a good fight for Flamey to take with the MP9. Zeus is right behind them as well here. The UMP in middle, but look at the bomb being rotated back towards the A-bomb site. Flamey, I think he's going to have a really hard time on this corner, but Zeus winning the fight against Fur, that means they can refocus on the slope. They're all coming out. He wins the first fight. He's going to be traded. That's still better than I would have thought, and now it's Zeus. So follow-up, takes down Fallen Guardian with a shot, and now Cold Sierra alone, you know, 1-on-3, and they sort of have a pretty good idea where he is. He got that first kill in the middle. Going to be walking up behind Zeus, but he just does a quick 180 and gets a triple with the UMP.
LG with that buy, they're trying to break the money of NaVi, because you could see a couple SMGs were out there trying to keep that money low, so if they do end up winning one of these rounds at the end, they can string some together against just pistols, but it's not working out for them, and then this is the punish for that kind of a risk. Not able to get any rifles into this round. They only had one in the last one. So a couple rounds now where NaVi's able to, you know, feast a little bit on a weaker buy.
Yeah, this is going to mean a weaker buy for Luminosity coming up in the next round as well. Going into the 13th round now, it's pretty much a hard eco coming out from Luminosity. They have invested in 3 smokes and a couple of flashes. So basically, the whole game plan here is get the smokes down, run onto the site, cross your fingers, and hope you can get that bomb plant so you can get the bonus money that comes with losing a round after getting the bomb planted on the T side. Flamey holding close with the MP9 again. Not sure if he actually spotted out the beat there, but he is going to be ready for Taco when he comes charging out. And now goes for the peek, sees more players. Zeus is there with the spray. It's just not going to pan out here for Luminosity. The strategy falls flat.
Yeah, this is, once again, just trying to get that plant. A little bit of extra money. The losing bonus, though, is at 4 rounds. They're going to be able to buy up, although it might be a little bit sketchy if they want to put an AWP on Fallen. I don't know if we'll be able to have armor. So, yeah, they just go straight into the 5 AKs. They have all the Molotovs. They have all the smokes they can need for any kind of an execution. But they're looking at a really rough scoreline if they can't win this gun round.
And unlike in sort of previously in this half, they don't have the option any longer of sort of winning around and enforcing an eco right now. We've just survived with 3, then now 4 members alive, so their economy is looking quite good going into the 15th round, no matter what LG do here. But they're trying to get really, really quickly up onto the catwalk, into the B-bomb site. Seized the one holding here, and he picks up a kill early on. That's going to buy so much time. Seized with a really good hold so far. He's going to peek again and takes a second kill. Cold Zero going down. Seized now coming into the game, and that's a third. He gets that kill on Fur and looks for a 4th kill. Can't quite get it. FNX with a reply. You might think it's a little bit too late here. Edward going to come in and trade that kill, and Fallen alone up in the apartments, and with so much time left. I mean, he has the bomb. That's maybe the only silver lining. This is nearly impossible.
Yeah, his only real option here is kind of like wait out a little bit, be very, very patient, maybe catch someone from NaVi off guard, let someone rotate away so you can find some one-on-one battles. But NaVi's got everything covered at the moment.
Yeah, they have that triangle on the B site. What NaVi are unsure of right now, and this is what Fallen's really waiting for, is that they might rotate an extra man off. But he gets that kill, catches him looking the wrong way, just not going to win. He came so close to turning that into a 1v1, another clutch situation. But Flamey will lay him low in the end, and we go into 11-3 with Luminosity having to go into a force buy. I mean, what the key play there is basically the fact that Luminosity, they're a little disjointed. They're a little too early on short. The guys in apartments weren't able to put any pressure because I believe C's put that incendiary down. It was holding them back long enough so that the guys on short came out just a bit too early. C's able to fall back onto the site without any punishment. That's not, you cannot allow that if you're Luminosity.
Yeah, his mobility was so good, and there was so much utility. There were so many nades on Luminosity, but C's wasn't pressured by anything, wasn't blind, didn't have any smokes in front of him, able to get a couple free kills from range. And now look, now they have to go against the auto sniper on Zeus.
I mean, if you look at the setup of that last round, it looked like it was going to be great, but Su's going to be going down early on here. That was Galil from Fallen taking the entry frag. They need this fourth round desperately. Luminosity are very far behind in this map. Grenade comes out, and counter grenade as well, and there's Taco and FNX picking up a couple of kills. Edward with the only refrag here so far, and Guardian and Edward. This retake surely cannot happen.
It should be impossible at this point. The angles are all too good for Luminosity. They have all 3 points at this point. It's all going to be down to Guardian now and Edward working together. They have the nades, and Guardian hits the shot onto Fur. 2 players waiting by pit and 1 still in CT, and this might be, what undoes NaVi, although Edward is going to be thorough. He's going to check, and he wins out. But a 1v2, just not going to happen when Fallen has the high ground, and another big kill coming in for Fallen. He started off the round strong by taking out Zeus with that auto sniper. He ends it and gives Luminosity that 4th round going into the second half. But this is still a fantastic scoreline here for NaVi.
Yeah, the crucial battle in that round was actually that Molotov nade combo over towards jungle was just sick. Perfectly timed. Stops any of the rotation, gets him 2 kills right off the back of it.
So just to put some perspective on what this first half was, NaVi winning 11 rounds, and 7 out of them were either a 1v1 or a 1v2. Where NaVi only survived with 1 or 2 members in 7 out of the 11 rounds. That should tell you something about just how close the Brazilian side got to getting a much, much better scoreline here.
Well, even you look in the early stages, in the first 5, 6 rounds, how many plants there were. There were 3 of them. Over half of or about half the rounds were all plants, and not being able to win those post-plant situations. You'll remember it was that 3rd round or the 4th round when they had actually it was like a 4-on-2 when they it was a save for Luminosity, but still they had a massive advantage and not able to hold on, not able to set up any crossfires. But what a half from Flamey. He started this off so well with this pistol clutch, set the tone.
And that's actually, he's playing against the man, well, Fur, who kind of dropped off. He got the quad kill in the pistol round. He tried to turn it back, but after that, he kind of just vanished. He ends the half with 6 kills, and he's one of the heavy hitters on Luminosity. Everybody on NaVi, they're all in double digits, but him and Taco kind of lagging behind here. So if Luminosity want to stand a chance, when both of these teams are so even in individual talent, in individual skill, if you have a couple of players who are lagging behind, that's just not going to cut it. Luminosity, they need all 5 to wake up here for the second half.
It's going to have to be another sick comeback, just like what we saw last night. Sick, but depressing.
Why you have to go there, Moses?
Well, Puckett did it, so might as well.
It's too late. All right.
Should we just decide to delete that from our memories for a little bit?
Yeah, I say let the past be the past. At least for a little bit. At least until the next episode of By the Numbers or something like that. Look, we are going to be heading into the second half here of the Grand Finals. It's still only the first map. So way too soon to really call anything, but you could tell that NaVi, as they have been all throughout this tournament, that they're playing out of their minds. And this was actually my worry. I was a bit scared that maybe they would be peaking too soon. You don't want to play your best games in the quarter and semifinals and then, have a really bad game in the grand finals. But that doesn't seem to be the case at all. So we're going to head into it here. Edward running into the middle, just controlling top mid for a little bit, and looks like a fairly aggressive hold on middle actually from Luminosity here. They want to see if they can fight this. That could be dangerous because Taco and Cold Zero, they're on the other side setting up for it, and Cold Zero shutting down Flamey. Flashbang comes out, but NaVi turn around for it. They're going to be trading effectively so far. Taco needs more kills. He's going to get a headshot. He's looking for one more. He's got 1 bullet left. He misses it. The knife is out. They're going to try and chase him down, and Seized going to be successful. So still a 2-on-3.
And they just made all of the difference there. The fact that Taco and Cold were able to inflict so much damage. Edward, he's been whittled down to 40 HP coming up through mid as well. And he's sitting on the 7. So now with 1:10 left, what can NaVi do to actually try and turn it around here, Moses?
Well, C's has no HP, so he's just staying in upper B, watching for a flank, watching for a push. The real playmaker has got to be Edward. He's in the position inside this window room. He's got to be able to come through the murder hole, go towards Fallen and Kitchen and Market. FNX is at the top mid, so Edward, he might not even expect that whatsoever, so he's got to be very, very careful. But C's just doesn't have the HP to make any kind of a play.
Maybe Edward does.
Yeah,
there's the opening headshot at least to try and make that work. Fallen and Fur, they still have a lot of health left here to try and see if they can bring this round home. They don't currently have a kit picked up. That's why maybe the one silver lining I can think of for NaVi right now. They're going to get onto the site. And Fur is quite far away from the action as well. See if that defuse kit is going to make the big difference here in a 2v2.
such low HP, it's all about the angles and catching somebody off guard. Fur is just now rotating over from that B site. He's going to walk by Edward's position. Fallen is going to be taking point, not even waiting for his teammate. He's actually just all out trying to find the info. Where are these guys playing from? There's the tap, and Seas doesn't even give it away. He's going to step up, and Fallen's going to catch him. Fur with the kill on Edward. Just not enough HP to really go for the big plays there, to get out into a long, drawn-out fight. They needed the instant headshots.
Fallen just outplayed Seas so hard. Right on, just taps it and goes the opposite direction. Seas goes to check and realizes he's been fooled, so it's an easy kill, but NaVi gets the plant. Again, much like the first pistol round, that plant is like, that was the best they could have done. Look at the HPs in that, only take like one bullet each person.
Look at Starix. Look at how animated he is right here. He's truly commanding this team right now. That's quite impressive.
We have to give the six-man credit. Same for Zeus over on Luminosity's side. I mean, sure, Fallen has much more, well, he is the in-game leader. Zeus is there to support him, but Starix is the one calling the shots for NaVi.
Yeah, I mean, Thorin mentioned this concept, you know, a good chess player. I feel like the chess player there is probably Starix, but he's got some pretty good pieces on the board right now, and they are in an 11-5 lead, and they're going into the 17th round here. Some controlling underpass and Edward at top middle. If they can get a kill in here early on, that's going to put a little bit of stress, I think, on Luminosity's side.
Yeah, controlled smokes in mid from NaVi, very coordinated. They want to get this control. Looks like they're boosting up in the window. That's going to be Guardian. There's one up in the vents and Fur. Swift execution.
Yeah, ready and waiting for it, and there is no chance to reply. Flamey sees they're trying to make it happen. They are looking for the fight, but they are going to get caught out. Flamey dead in pit, and Zeus now having to rotate around. So they're just getting whittled down here, NaVi. They're down to 3 players. Luminosity still have all 5 alive, although they don't really have much utility to work with anymore. Luminosity to hold this off. Doesn't matter when you have the rifles and the advantage of range. That's the whole point. You're looking for those long-range fights, and you catch them out that way. Zeus has recovered a FAMAS, so we'll see if he can actually achieve anything here with it, but he's not going to manage it in the end. FNX. Seems like Luminosity are really coming alive here in this second half. They're winning all the duels flat out. Taco just assassinates Seas, and that's it. It's over.
Yeah, no plant in this round, and with that investment now, this is basically going to have to be just a full save, just a hard eco. You can see Guardian, he's up at $2,700, so he's the one who wants to go for that AWP, keeping that extra 700 or 800.
Well, we've got the 18th round that's going to be coming up, and you know, Moses, people are going to be blaming you if this comes into another comeback situation here, because you did bring it up. That's how it works.
Well, thanks for calling me out on it.
Yeah, you know. I think you've already had some good times this tournament, haven't you? What's that thing you said on the desk?
Something about GG.
Well, thank you guys. We have
hot mics are fun mics, guys.
Yeah, that's a very good saying indeed. Taco and Cold Zero, they are in the B-bomb side. They have the exact same setup as in the pistol round, similar, and I mean, this time it might be even better. There's no armor on these NaVi players. This could be an actual slaughter.
Yeah, they're going to get shredded. And they're going for a similar setup here, Luminosity. Taco's got that pop flash ready to go. Cold is holding right next to him. And so it's going to be that 1-2 combination punch here.
It's the same as their pistol round. And actually, that might help NaVi, I mean, figure out what's going on, but they just don't have anything to deal with it.
There you go. Boop. And they all just get murdered. Taco double kill for him. Cold slaps down Guardian. They will find the man trying desperately to plant on the site. Great deny there, actually, man. Cold Zera saving it, because if Seas gets that bonus money, it's looking much better for NaVi in the next round. They would have a full buy across the board. Now, NaVi, they aren't quite there. They're going to be limited on nades.
So I always identify that position with Pronax, but obviously he plays it alone. But Pronax's timing in that position is really scary for some reason. I can't really explain that. What I do like about the way that they're setting it up is that Cold Zero is actually watching the flashbang, you know? He's watching it for like the first seconds, then he turns around, and then they just go for the slaughter. It's actually a very, very good setup.
Well, and if you're a terrorist coming at that and you see that pop flash kind of come out, even if you're blind, you're always going to expect the peek to come from that right side. So Cold peeking
That's a good point.
on the other is what's expected to throw him off just a little bit.
Well, NaVi's chance to make their mark on the second half here. 11-7 is the current split, so only a 4-round lead for NaVi, which is at this level, which is the absolute highest, obviously. Not necessarily that much. Things could quickly get out of control. Taco trying to return the spray there. And he's spraying back with an M4A4, which is significant. It was an M4A1, then the terrorist on the other side wouldn't know because there makes no traces through the smoke, but he can see where that bullet is coming from, so you got to be careful about spraying too much like that.
Again, though, NaVi, I mean, there's a minute left in this round, and they're out of smokes. They have to do something with what they just laid down. This has to have an impact. And it looks like a lot of players huddled up in these B tunnels. Taco's the lone man at this bomb site. LG does not have a read on what's happening quite yet.
No, they don't actually have much information at all. Fur, with that smoke going down a window, it means that Fur has to try and play from connector. FNX is keeping an eye there as well. Taco has spotted it, though, and the game is up. Now the rotation has to come out here from Luminosity. Fur, FNX hauling over here, but Taco, he's going to be the first line, and he loses versus Guardian. Cold on short. Is he going to be able to actually bring it back? Big spray from him, but Edward with the backstab settles it, and it's a man advantage now going into the retake here for Luminosity. Guardian trying to force their hand, trying to go for the shoulder peek, and Edward will be the one to get the flank, but Fur drops the bomb carrier, and now it's all on Edward. 1v2, Fallen with the angle, and Fur on the site, and it's all over. Fallen, sick shot, and just holding the angle patiently, gets it all done.
Wow, I mean, that was a bit scary, and I think, I could be wrong, but I swear I saw Guardian killing one of his teammates in the middle of all of that.
Yep.
I mean,
He did,
yeah, one team kill in the middle of it, that's not going to put the whole team on tilt, but, you know, it's not like Guardian has had an amazing game yet. He's still bottom of the scoreboard, just like he was in the first half. So, you know, for him personally, maybe that's a bit frustrating.
That should end pretty soon because he's going to be able to have the AWP. The thing with their 2 buys that they've really had in this half so far is, you know, they've been not the greatest buys. They've been on low economy buys with very little utility. They can barely afford the rifles and all the smokes they'll need. So he hasn't gotten to the op yet. And the scary part now is Luminosity. They've got 2.
Yeah, this is the frustrating thing from NaVi. They never really seem to prioritize Guardian. He's always willing to force up with his teammates. But this is, again, similar to what Luminosity were doing in their T side. NaVi, they just want to get this bomb plant happening, but FNX, he's only going to trade 1 for 1. That isn't quite good enough, but the rotation is going to come in here from Luminosity, and now all they have to do is be patient and wait for the smokes to clear and close in on NaVi after that.
Yeah, that's got to be the game plan here. No reason to sacrifice yourself. All right, they get the bomb plan. That's not the end of the world here. Fallen picking up a kill, and Edward trying to get close with the tech line, but Taco there as the bodyguard, and they did exactly what you said, Summer. So I think that's some nice calm play from the CT side here.
Keeping their cool.
Yeah, especially with Taco rotating through CT spawn to assist Fallen with the M4 in case anyone, like we just saw, try to get close to that Tech 9. But this double op setup, we saw it yesterday against Liquid. This is what allowed Luminosity to claw back into that match. And again, they're playing from a deficit, but the first round with the double op setup, I mean, they look good. Now they have Guardian, though. This is where he needs to step up. This is where he needs to start having that big impact we know he can.
I mean, he was talking about it in the video as well going into this match, how he handles the pressure, but this is when it's at its worst. Now his team really needs him to step up. He needs to have that impact with the sniper rifle. It's not about him underperforming, it's about his team needing him now. And NaVi, standard fare for them, it seems, although Guardian might be going into underpass. No, he's up in apartments right now. He's actually looking to see if Taco's playing aggressive, something that Luminosity have been doing at the beginning of this CT half. They have been, going with the aggressive peaks, aggressive setups, looking towards B apartments. Guardian was hoping to punish that.
Yeah, well, especially because they know Taco jump peaked the last round where they sent a lot B, so he's just trying to go for that early shot, see if he can catch Taco out of the air.
I do want to point out, you see Cold Series sort of turning around up in Catwalk there, looking into the wall. That's something pro players do, because if you look at the audio source, you can actually determine where people are going. So it's not like he's looking through the wall, but that's just how it works, in case you're wondering and you're confused about how that works out. We do have some mid-control coming in, or at least a play for it here for NaVi, but they need some good grenades up to make sure that they don't just get entried here. Fur in a very dangerous position, pushed up far, going for the first kill, and Such will be falling. Seized, he really wants to return that, but there's no reason why LG should be fighting this now. About 50 seconds left, and it looks like the other part of that NaVi push that was supposed to go into the A-bomb site is setting up outside, but how do they finish this now?
This is such an intriguing way to play mid-control if you're CTs. 3 members over towards Catwalk, just spotting for B, playing a retake on that bomb site, but Taco and Fur being aggressive. No one peeking from window and no one peeking from connector either.
And we got the chant going right now, but NaVi, they need it. Being down a man and not having many nades to work with makes their lives very difficult, but it is going to be a commit to the A side here from them. All 3 players from Luminosity who are over on the B side are going to have to start rotating because the defense on the A side is about to get overwhelmed. Although, as I say that, FNX and Fallen start the party. Seized in connector will pick up the rotator, but instantly traded, and Guardian, just like that, he's lost his entire team. The lack of nades is having an impact here. When you try and rush onto that A site and you have to worry about all of these angles, a couple of flashes could make a big deal, but Guardian, he's having that impact, and he is going to die right before the clock goes up. Sick shot from Cold, but Guardian should have made that money. He should have died right before, and he did.
Well, 11 and 10 I mean, the comeback is definitely looking very good at the moment. We've got 6 rounds in a row here for Luminosity, which is exactly what NaVi got when they had their first half going into the CT side here. So that also should tell you that it's too soon to start sort of losing all hope if you're on the NaVi side here. Still some good Counter-Strike to come, but this is, from a viewership point of view, this is what we wanted, right? If you're watching this game and enjoying it, then you'd want this to go the full distance here. NaVi, they have money. Everyone except for Zeus could buy an AK and armor. What do you think, Moses? I mean, obviously they are going to make the buy. You don't save with this kind of an economy. But what's the play here? What haven't they done yet on the terrorist side, NaVi?
I mean, if I'm NaVi, I actually maybe go for a little bit of a half buy to try maybe the Tech 9 and armor, but you need to get Nop in Guardian's hands. You need him to start getting going in this half, and if they buy here when he's only at 3,700, that's too many rounds that you've squandered with him not having the weapon he's known for. All the players, we've had that segment where every single player said Guardian's the best op in the world. Put it in his hands, let him win you some rounds, put him in mid, don't put him in the B halls. Let him control the map with that AWP, see if he can get a pick.
I mean, I don't have a count in my head, but there is also an argument to be made sometimes that, you know, if your AWP player isn't really connecting, I mean, granted he hasn't had it in his hands a lot, but we haven't been seeing some of those super flashy plays from him. Sometimes we do see players, even on the NaVi team, sort of step back and say, all right, you do the AWPing instead, and I'll just play with the AK.
They go with the double op strategy from time to Seized is there,
Yeah.
but right now Zeus is usually the man who drops, and there we go. That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting to see it. Obviously, you guys can't. You'll see it in 15 seconds. But I was curious to see if something, because it's the 3 stars basically who had the actual money. Seized, Flamey, and well, Edward wasn't quite able to get the AWP, but I was wondering who was going to go Glass Cannon out of Seized and Flamey. Who was going to actually drop that AWP for Guardian, make sure that he had the sniper rifle in this key round.
Wow, so Seized sacrificing himself a lot for the team. The lack of armor means grenades, aim punch, and a whole lot of other things too. It's going to be lethal and against those M4s as well. 1 bullet to the face and you're gone. Not if you have Kevlar and Helm. So we'll see. 22nd round is coming up here, and I mean, what a time to be watching Counter-Strike here. We just passed the 1.2 million viewership mark, I can tell, and we're just getting started. So keep tuning in, get your friends involved. This is, yeah, this is where everything begins.
Taco.
This is so cool. Change in pace.
Time to take the fight to him. Taco, he peeks out. Oh, he thinks he's shooting from the wall, from the little room. He gets the angle wrong, and now Cold not able to trade. This might bait NaVi into it. This might get them thinking, wait, we actually have an advantage here, but Cold, he's actually going to step in. He's on the hunt, and he hits the shot.
And again, that was Seized with no armor. If Taco had hit 1 bullet, he probably wins that fight immediately, but he just wasn't expecting it. Now, 4 versus 4. Cold Zero low on health, and also defending the B-bomb side entirely alone. And FNX and Fur, they're sort of stacked on top of each other over by the balcony at the A-bomb side. Everyone is actually miles away for this rotation. Yeah,
this has got to be a sick read that they've seen in demos or something, because no one has even started moving towards the B-bomb side. It's just Cold there. He's down at 19 HP. He's got very little health to play with. It's got to be some sick shots if they end up going to that bomb site, but still, no one from Luminosity is even posturing to rotate.
And look at the boost that's coming up as well from Guardian. That's not an angle that Cold could really expect. They even have grenades, and there's the shot. Guardian going to be going down. Cold Zero doing a very, very fine job at the moment. That flick not going to connect, and he will drop, making it a full 3-on-3 retake here. And LG, they can't let NaVi back into the game now. This will be the first round they'd win in the second half here. Going to be Fallen trying to see if he can make it out of Kitchen. FNX also trying to put some bullets through here. Rotation coming through from Fur on Catwalk, but it's very slow. And Zeus, he actually makes that jump somehow. They don't get the shot in on him. There's going to be Edward going down. Now a 2-on-3. Flamey and Zeus, they have to hold on to this round. They really can't let LG win and just continue this streak of rounds that they have been on. That almost ticked for a long time though, so now speed becomes a problem. Zeus going to be taking down FNX, and it's a 2-on-2. He's hiding in the back lines. Flamey gets a kill. Fallen, now it's a 1-on-1, and he's going to try for the spray, and Flamey, he gets the shot. It's a double kill. Every single time, Flamey just stepping up. 21, 4 assists and 15 deaths.
That's an incredible job from Flamey. That gets them their first round of the half though. Now it's the struggle. Still, another situation where you have a weak buy because of your money, and you have to string them together. If they lose this, that's the hard reset late in the half, so Luminosity would be able to close that gap. So it's going to be tough for NaVi. They do have the op still on Guardian, but he's the one now with no armor. They've only got 3 smokes to work with as well.
This is the big round right here. They've just expended all of their money, Luminosity, so if they lose it, they're on eco. The same could be said for NaVi. This could make all of the difference. If NaVi win it, they're close to picking up that first map. Luminosity, they get a second chance if they can pull this off.
What a one-way smoke from Taco up in that window.
This could get nasty, though. C's might be baited in because of that. Taco's just waiting. This is deadly. If C's actually gets impatient and tries to push in, he could be in for a bit of trouble. But instead, he's playing a position that allows him to keep watch on both angles, making sure nobody pushes through underpass. And while his teammates are taking control of top mid as well, NaVi in the meantime kind of edging around in pit, hoping to get lucky and just making some noise.
We saw Luminosity on the T side when they were struggling to get terrorist rounds. They changed the pace a lot. They had some aggressive strategies. They had some of those tactics where they just pop flashed themselves through one smoke on the A ramp, trying to get out of that bomb site aggressively. NaVi is known for not really switching out of this fast pace or this slow pace style. That they've never really gone that fast pace here against Luminosity. So still trying to ground these rounds out. 45 seconds left in the round. 2 smokes to work with. And it's looking like it's going to be a B split with Edward just slowly coming up catwalk late.
Wow, Taco, how does he deal with this? He doesn't have any counter grenades coming out, no Molotovs to buy time, no smoke to sort of block off anything either. Cold helping him, Taco winning the first fight as well. Goes for the second spray down, looking for the triple. It's going to be all 3 kills. He's got 6 bullets, but he can't find the last in there. Cold will take care of it. And that is going to be Luminosity with a very hard reset of NaVi's economy. They're back to just about 2,000 on average. And a 12-11 scoreline here. That was the worst possible thing that could have happened to NaVi.
Yeah, this is the nightmare situation. Back onto pistols. Guardian at 1,500. It's got to be a double save if he wants to have an AWP into the next round.
This is the nightmare, but that is such a huge risk as well from Luminosity. They have nothing in mid. They have no info on where NaVi are coming from. They're playing a straight default kind of pattern. 3 on A, 2 on B, and it all comes down to hitting the shots. So individual play is what made the difference there for Luminosity. They had no way to back it up. Fur just, yeah, slams Flamey. He knows that they've been playing around in pit. He takes that auto shotty in there. Makes a little bit of extra money for himself. You get more money with the shotgun kills.
We saw it yesterday with how effective Taco playing that position in that bomb site right behind that last pillar. Fallen did the same thing against Liquid. It's just these terrorist teams with no nades have nothing to flush him out of that spot, so he can just be so mobile, pick and choose the battles he needs.
That's the real difference maker. I mean, he's coming back into it as well. He's getting into the high double digits, the high teens rather, on Taco's side, and he just catches C's trying to get tricky with that smoke. Not going to happen, and Edward is now the last man alive here for NaVi.
3rd kill with the auto shotgun in a grand finals of the first $1 million major.
And that's just rocketed his money up.
Just fur, ladies and gentlemen, just fur. Edward going to be running back with 3 health, so there's not, he can't really accomplish anything at this point in time. He's trying to hide. Best he could do is get a single kill, but Fur is on the hunt with the shotgun. Oh, Edward, is he going to suffer the same fate? They come around the corner. Quad kill with an auto shotgun is going to make it a tied scoreline. 12-12. Luminosity, I mean, really, really playing well in the second half.
And you can see the effect. Look at the effect this reset, this disaster situation. Guardian's going to be on a deagle. AK-47s for Zeus and Edward. Galil on seized.
Did someone bring a Macedonian flag in here?
Why are they buying, though, is what I'm wondering. Why are they not just going for a quasi-buy? Tech9 Kevlar, hope you get a plant, hope you get a lucky round in, but just allow for Guardian to get that AWP, allow for everybody to have all of the nades, because once again, NaVi, they're trying to run in here, and they're just looking for the shots. They just don't have much utility to make it easier for them. Fur in this position can wreck them as they come out of apartments. It all comes down to whether the flashes are good to just force him out of here. And he's got the angle already, so as soon as this smoke clears, it's going to be over. There's the flash, completely ineffective, and Fur, double spray for him, and he drops the bomb up on the balcony as well, which is pretty much the worst place it could possibly fall. Flamey and Edward are trying to do the best that they can, but Fallen, he only gets 1.
Well, this is a big round here for NaVi. They need to get economically back in this game here. It's a 2-on-2. The bomb has not been planted yet. They just canceled it for a second, because when you don't have that smoke for CT spawn, you do get just a little bit paranoid. Taco, he's holding that position now, and Cold is holding the other angle, so now the bomb plant is really going to be tricky. There's still, I think, maybe 1 spot left that they could try and go for, but Luminosity actually have a lot of control in this 2v2, and they certainly have the health advantage. Cold Sierra ready and waiting. They're going to walk right into it. Flamey out in the open. Guardian left, and he goes down. Cold Sierra with a double kill, and now 13-2. Finally, Luminosity overtake NaVi in the round score. And I have to ask, Moses, I don't know if you were watching this, but did it look like C's got stuck on the corner? Is it even possible to get stuck on that corner coming out, or did he just not realize his model was showing a bit at the edge of the smoke?
Yeah, it might have just been a mistiming. I don't think you can get caught on that corner. I don't think there's anything there. Yeah, so I think it was just a mistiming of either the flashbang, maybe they just misread when it was thrown. But Fur, either way, just punishes that so easily.
The single flash that was thrown out was completely ineffective for first position as well. So,
Yep.
I mean, he like, flash or not, C's getting caught or not, that I mean, Fur is in the perfect place to be, basically.
But
This is a hard counter.
This is something now where we've touched on a couple times. This lack of discipline in their economy is really starting to punish NaVi because they have not had many solid buys in this half whatsoever. Luminosity just has everything they need.
It is a buy. You were talking about the lack of discipline in the economy here. We've got 4 Tech-9s, 1 Galil. A lot, if not more, almost everything in this first map here rides on the outcome of this one round for NaVi. Luminosity, they have some money to buy if they lose the round. They have at least some bank on Cold and Fallen, but the rest are going to be in a lot of trouble. Fur close here in the ladder room, and they're trying to push in on him. He only has 20 bullets here, but he's got some backup in Cold Zero, and they're just not getting the kills. Cold with the double, looking for the triple, but Su's going to run him down with that Tech-9. Now Taco on the bomb site here. They're getting very close, seized, just dodging and diving, and Taco out of bullets in the corner. He's going to die to NaVi, and that's going to be Fallen and FNX 2 on 2. They are so close to actually winning this map. They need another couple of kills, and Zeus is going to pick it up. He's got 2 health left against Fallen. Now a one-on-one, and he needs this clutch. The bomb is out in the open, and Fallen is just ice cold. He's not even moving from this angle. He's just in the kitchen waiting, and there's the shot. Fallen going to be able to take him out, putting them at 14 rounds.
That is incredible stuff. NaVi somehow almost makes that work. But now this is that position that they have no more rounds that they can save. That was their last chance to kind of save around and get a solid buy going on, because it's not necessarily the weaponry they have, it's the nades that they can use in those rounds. We saw that time, the limited nades that NaVi did have, they used it. Luminosity throws some nice counter flashes, some nice counter nades, stalls them out completely, but NaVi just has to push forward into like really, really bad fights for them just because they have no more utility to rethrow. This round they only have a flashbang at this point. They've already used their one smoke.
Yeah, they have the single flash on Edward. There was a little shakiness, something that we're not used to seeing between Fur and Taco, you know, drawing out their sprays that gave NaVi the chance to capitalize on that. But I think Luminosity, after winning that round, they're going to be settled and ready to just take this first map. It's all on NaVi now to come up with something magical.
Where are the grenades, Moses? Where are they at?
They're all gone.
They're all gone.
This is going to be so difficult for them, especially with Galil's trying to win some of these battles. Guardian, no armor. It's actually Seized who's going to be the one that looks like to take some initial fight. Edward's trying to work his way up Catwalk, using a little bit of his smoke for cover, but that's gone now as well. And Cold falls for it. Seized with great positioning.
They thought all those grenades had worked out. Fur going to be going down. NaVi not giving up without a fight. Taco going to go for the quick peek, but he's got to be careful to get... Oh, he hits that shot! Taco announcing himself as a good AWPer here. That's about the right time to do it, as well as Flamey goes down. Luminosity are taking some very quick steps here towards winning the first map. Zeus and Guardian, they are going to be left and trying to get out. Guardian showing up with a kill on Fallen, and that's the perfect start. The bomb is going to go down. Guardian is covering him. He's not even looking at jungle right now. Going to be peeking in again. He hits the shot on FNX, and now it's Taco alone. 1-on-2. He goes for the beak. He takes down one more for the triple kill. And now Zeus hiding inside the bomb site. Taco trying to see if he can make it in. This would be one of the biggest clutches of his career and possibly win the map. He's going to go for the quick spray through. Zeus is on the other side. Taco trying to see if he can make it around. He jumps. He goes down, and Zeus going to be able to win the round. NaVi keeping themselves alive.
Just barely. Guardian bails him out there. In a round where they have to win those duels, because of the lack of nades, Guardian just peeks and grabs 2 quick ones, falling out in the open, and then covers his teammate off towards jungle, but Taco almost able to make a hero play. The issue with this win from NaVi is that you can't rely on winning those duels. A lot of those are 50-50 battles that they're taking. You can't always rely on them to close this match out, so they're going to have to come up with something. Fortunately, the money for the Luminosity side is now very, very weak. Fallen has plenty of it.
Yeah, this is a pretty hard reset, actually, on Fur FNX. The thing is that Fallen has the 9,300 in the bank, so they should be able to actually do something with that. But yeah, the misbuy on Taco, just a sole MP7, that's going to cost them. I mean, NaVi, thanks to the bomb plant, they actually get something out of this. I mean, they're still able to get a buy, and they save the AWP, so they have a healthy buy as well.
This is actually a very, for how dominant Luminosity has been in this half, this is now a really sketchy situation for them. This is why we're seeing the pause, so they can talk this out. Because if Luminosity buys into this round and they happen to lose it,
yeah,
they're out of money. And then they're going to have no money for essentially the rest of the half. And this late in the game, that kind of a reset can allow NaVi to get up towards 15 or 16 rounds.
Just to point out as well, both the NaVi rounds they've had in the second half have been one member of NaVi surviving. That doesn't inspire a lot of confidence when you're going into the last couple of rounds here of this map. This got to be a really tense situation for both teams.
I love how it's so similar to how the first map played, the first half played out as well. That this, I mean, again, one of the key clutches goes NaVi's ways. This is what prevented Luminosity from getting off to a strong start in the first half and dominating that T side, is that all the clutches kept going NaVi's way. And so if Zeus, you know, he's able to keep delivering like this, I mean, I'm just still blown away that Taco actually outduels Guardian, completely shuts down 1v2 on B side. Like, where is this Taco coming from? He's just wrecking right now. We just need more of that for Luminosity to be able to close out this first map. Otherwise, NaVi will be in the lead.
Well, the game is going to resume in 15 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get back into it here. NaVi, they should be able to steal this round away, unless Luminosity are going to go for sort of last second buy here, which, would you recommend it, Moses? Is it that time?
No.
I don't think so, because Fallen can drop multiple M4s, so why risk it into this round when the next time you can have much, much more behind it? He can drop it, and actually they're going to go for it, or at least Cold is. So this is
some Frenchies in the scene.
It's still paused.
Yeah, keep it up.
I love it.
It's been a good crowd this weekend, hasn't it?
It's been so sick.
It's been ridiculous.
It's been amazing.
Yeah, we got our money's worth here. Well,
This is, it is really intriguing what they're going to do with this money. This buy by Cold. Okay. That makes sense.
Misbuy, okay, so they're actually reversing it. That's what's happening.
yeah. Luckily, we have that kind of technology here. And obviously, in case anything does go wrong, we do have obviously Valve employees in the stadium ready to fix any kind of issue. So that's also a relief.
So they go for the buy.
So they go for it, all or nothing.
And Fallen has the op, so he's glass cannon, so he did drop an M4 over.
Tell us what the risk is, Moses. What is the problem? What is the potential sort of outcome if they lose this round, Luminosity?
It's actually both teams who have virtually no money left. Flamey on NaVi has the most money at 1,000, but they've got 3 members on exactly $0. Same with Luminosity, actually. 3 members down to 0. The loser of this round this late in the match is going to have to save or just force buy up on the pistols. I mean, this would be such a huge advantage. And for Luminosity on 14, if they win this and get to 15 and go against pistols to win this first map, that's a very, very scary situation for NaVi to be in at the moment.
Look how far up for an FNX are right here. Even if they don't find anyone, which we can see on the minimap they won't, this gives them so much information. If they peek around this corner and don't see anyone, that is a lot of sort of tactical information they can draw on what NaVi are doing here. And it might make the final difference.
What it is also, FNX is there to support him, so if Fer actually hears anything, FNX can pop flash over. They don't have a lot of nades, so they've got to go for some kind of tricky, aggressive play. They've got to do something that can kind of equalize the situation because their arsenal is much weaker. So they have to catch him off guard somehow.
And look at Flaming Seas. They're actually walking. They could be walking into the trap. This could be awful for them. FNX is going to spot it, and you're right. He has the flashbang still. He saved it for a long time. Down to 55 seconds. You could just pop that randomly if you want to, but they are keeping it ice cold right now. This one very simple, very default trick that's coming out. See if it's going to be quite enough for them. Fallen, he's controlling windows still. They actually made the jump on Nova. Edward going to be coming in here. Flaming Sea still not moving up on the slope here. Fallen looking for the shot. He's got his crosshair right on him, but he's not pulling the trigger just yet. And on the other side, Fer going to engage the battle. First skill comes in. FNX with the follow-up, the 1-2 punch combination, and Seas and Flamey are going to be going down now. Zeus has to try and salvage it. He's coming up into the Tetris boxes, getting the first skill in. Edward with the follow-up. NaVi, they're trying to bring it back. Zeus covering the whole bomb site here. He killed FNX as well. Turns around. Cold Zero very nearly dead. Taco, he's there with the flank, but everybody in the bomb site has already died. There's only 10 seconds left. If he kills the bomb planter here, that's going to be the end of the round. He goes for it, but it's a second too late. Taco, he just doesn't make it, and now it's a 1-on-2.
I'm just waiting to see if that clutch is going to come through here because Taco, he's got the angle on one, but it's a perfect crossfire, and that is an impossible situation for him to find himself in. Perfect positioning from NaVi, one in connector, one on the site. No matter which way Taco looks, he's going to get caught in the back as soon as he shows himself. So very well done there by NaVi, and just hats off to Zeus for coming through in a huge way here for his team. 25 kills. Well, and a few of them in pretty much the most important round of the map.
Yeah, that was sick.
You did warn them, Moses.
Yep. This is such a tough spot to be in. So they're going to have to essentially allow NaVi to get up towards 15, barring anything crazy, but there's no armor bot on the Luminosity side. There's no nades whatsoever. They're completely out of money. So that next round, they're going to have to try and force overtime with whatever they can have.
One C set 75. When has that ever made a difference?
It's not in the hands of Cold, though.
Or Flusher.
Or Flusher, exactly. Basically the two best CZ players in the world. But FNX, I mean, he's got the clutch potential. He can make something happen here at all times. It all comes down to, well, timing basically here for Luminosity, because we can see they have a very close stack towards pits right now on a site in case NaVi wanted to go for a straight smoke round and just try and completely close the map out that way. They would have been ready to counter it, but now that the clock keeps ticking in NaVi, they aren't really biting on anything just yet. It's not really going to pan out for Luminosity in these close positions. Instead, NaVi, they're putting much more focus over towards that B site for now.
Well, look at how they can abuse, actually, this battle. Cold runs out of bullets, but look at how they can abuse Luminosity. They take mid control. With the rifles, they can win these duels from range, but Fur actually finds the opening one, but now Flamey and Edward respond right back.
That's the important one right there.
Well, we talked about the 1C set 75. It's at least going to be in the right position here for FNX, but the range is a little bit too much there. If he had maybe waited a couple of seconds, there might have been an opening. Fallen, going to try and see if he can get the crossing kill, but not going to happen. And Fur, with the stolen AK, is going to be running away and trying to hide halfway across the map. So this is going to put NaVi at map point, 15 to 14.
This is going to be so difficult now.
And they should definitely be hunting right now. I mean, NaVi, they can afford to sack at least one more player to get this gun off of Fur, and that's why they're sending Flamey up the top mid, and they're also making their way through CT. That's Edward on the hunt over there. But if they can catch out Fur, it would have a huge impact here on Luminosity's last round, you know, to be able to put up a fight. They're already going to be limited on utility, Luminosity.
That's going to be the trick, because the last time they had a buy with low economy, they had that set up on A ramp with Fur and FNX, and it actually worked out. It got them the 2 opening kills. But they're going to have to come up with something creative like that, and it does look like Fur is going to be able to save this. Edward is going to turn the corner, but Fur wins that battle, luckily, thankfully.
All right, well, it's only fitting. Our analyst panel did point it out. This is a very, very close game, almost impossible to call, and it's gone all 30 rounds here, which is absolutely incredible. And we do have 1.3 million viewers tuning in, so make some noise here at the Nationwide Arena. What a day it is already.
Magnificent. This is what it's all about.
Mid control again for NaVi, and actually very aggressively. This is a little bit quicker. No smokes were even up by the time they came out. They might have had to take some duels, and Flamey's going to win a battle at A very quickly up A ramp, but FNX evens things out.
That kind of trade early on, not exactly what Luminosity need right now. They have at least a few more grenades than the previous rounds, but NaVi, they've just found the right rhythm here. Just at the end of the half, it seems they figured out exactly what works. Now they just need another 4 kills and they'll be able to make it through. Otherwise, we could be going to overtime.
And overtime in the finals? Yes, please. Thank you very much. With how both of these teams are so dead even right now, it would be nothing but an amazing match. Zeus getting up into connector, however. And he's going to be getting close, hoping to catch out any rotators as this push comes in here for NaVi. With a minute left on the clock, they have just enough nades to make it work. And he's taking the peek, trying to get as much information as possible.
I mean, this kind of execute with Zeus being this far up in connector and without being spotted, that's going to be really scary. If they get the right smokes in, then how is anyone, if Fur tries to rotate in, try and stop anything, Zeus is going to shoot him in the back. They've got such a good position. And Zeus, I don't know why he's moving around so much. He really shouldn't be the first guy in here peeking. Should wait for the rest of NaVi to actually make the execute happen. He looks a little bit nervous right now. Fur hiding in the corner. Zeus going to be making his way around. That Molotov there. It's going to be the first kill coming in. Fur now got a little bit left. He's got the smoke as well. Backup coming in. He's got the knife out. Actually, 2 bullets left. Trying to see if he can get the reload up. Somehow he's still alive. And Cold Zero, they get the kill. NaVi, how did this go wrong? Now it's a 2-on-4. And Seized and Edward, they're on the slope. At least they have the bomb down. But this is such a tough round to win here. Luminosity, they're trying to make it back in. Another 2 kills. And we'd be going to overtime. Seized. He has the Molotov. He's going to try and put it out. Gets the spray down. Kills 1 Fur with the refrag now. All on Edward. He's out there. The bomb is ticking away. He gets the first kill in, but he can't get it. The Molotov not going to save the round, and we are going to overtime.
And in a packed stadium, no less. First map of the grand finals. It could only happen this way. But it's such a scary situation to find yourself in now as both of these teams, there's so much riding on this. Both of them had opportunities to actually close out this map and win it. And so now, how is the mindset going to be going into the second map for the team who loses this first map? That's what it's all about. Are they going to be able to reset and show that they have the fortitude, Luminosity, to come back once again?
We saw yesterday, Luminosity has that mental strength, that focus to come back from any situation, to maintain their composure despite all adversity that they've gone through. NaVi's kind of, won every map throughout this tournament. They haven't been tested like this quite yet. But both these teams, with how many times they've played each other this year, they always know it's going to be this grind-out game. They always know it's going to be this close coming down to the wire. The big deal for NaVi, in my opinion, is that towards the end of this half, when they actually strung those rounds together to take the advantage, it's mostly on the fact that they had such an economic advantage in those rounds. They were beating up Luminosity. We saw a lot of weak buys by LG there at the end. Once NaVi was able to build up some money. Going into overtime, that disappears for at least the first 2 rounds.
What happened in that execute at the end there? They had only Fur in window room. Everybody else was much further away. How did they not win that round?
Taco just makes that play of him jumping through his own smoke, just narrowly avoiding death with a Molotov and everything. That's huge. That maintains control of that position for Luminosity. He also gets 1 kill, I believe it was. So it's actually incredible because I was very scared. The LG setup, they've done that a couple times in that half, was kind of gambling towards one site. You could see the lean was over towards mid, towards Catwalk and the B bomb site. No one was even in CT spawn. That avenue of retake really wasn't there for LG, so a huge win for them.
But NaVi have been doing a very good job of keeping LG guessing as well with these CT setups. They've actually shown some variety in their play, willing to go to A site, willing to go to B site. They haven't been focusing too much on one or the other, and that makes it much more difficult for that CT in-game leader to call, where to stack his men.
Now, we have to assume there are a couple of new viewers with this many people watching. So, again, we're now playing an MR3 10,000 starting money overtime. That means you get to play 3 rounds on the side that you're already on. Then you switch halves and play another 3 rounds on the other side. You need to win 4 in total, which means the first team to 19 rounds here is going to be the winner. Or double overtime is definitely possible. We've had overtimes all throughout this tournament, actually, all the way back to the group stage.
And we're already in. So let's see. Fallen, position on the A site. Not going to find anybody yet. And once again, NaVi, at this point, they're going through the motions. They're trying to get control of mid. Aggressive nades going down here, trying to change things up actually here for Luminosity. And they aren't wasting any time, NaVi. Once they get the mid control, they go straight up connector. And FNX is in a bit of a tight spot. Flamey's there to enter it. He actually picks up the first kill. And now NaVi, they can actually slow down the pace and force Luminosity to make a mistake here.
Well, this change of pace itself, essentially a rush, but look at Fur, all that smoke. That second smoke was up, but NaVi's so fast-paced, Luminosity not used to that kind of speed.
What is Seized doing? Because Fur, exactly, he has actually got the positioning on Fur, so even if Fur decides to go up connector, Seized, he's going to have the perfect spot for this. Bomb has not been planted yet. Cold is actually going to deny it, and Fur, he gets the drop in the end. So he still has an impact, even with Seized and the positioning, it works out.
He didn't know he was too far back on up top mid. He didn't realize that Fur was there. Otherwise, they would have instantly got the kill. But with the bomb down here, and there is a smoke and a Molotov on Cold Zero. So if they smoke off that bomb, look at Zeus running all the way back. Where are they doing? I was surprised they at least didn't try and recover the bomb. Then they could have gone to the B bomb site.
45 seconds. They still have 40 seconds to play with here. Are they going to try and go for something clever? Cold has got this angle on window. He realizes that if they buddy up, the boost can come through, and he's worried about some kind of pressure coming in here on short. Seized, misses the jump, and that might have just saved his life.
It's funny how these things work out, but Cole, this is an important battle to win, and he can't do it. Zeus finds him.
No. Fallen going to go aggressive. He lands that shot on Seized, and now there's just 15 seconds left here. Fallen trying to see if he can clutch the 1v2. He's got the first kill in. Zeus has got a double of his own. The bomb has been picked up, but this time he can't actually run to the B-bomb site. It gets planted, and he's not faking it. He just goes straight for it. And now one missed shot here for Fallen could cost him his life. He's trying to push closer. He gets it through the box, but he needs another one. Pistols out as well. He goes for the shot. Now, oh, that shot comes through. And Zeus with the triple kill. That's going to be NaVi winning the first round of overtime. Wow.
I can't even describe how difficult that is when you get hit through the box like that, down to that low HP. To hit a headshot like that, that is a big-time play.
Getting into that shoulder peak war. Fallen reacting a little bit there with the P2K looking to find the shot. If he had tagged him or not, that might have worked, but he decides to go back to the op, and eventually that's actually what cost him his life. Zeus with the perfect timing for the peak, and now all the pressure's on Luminosity here, losing that CT sound. That first CT round was starting with only $10,000. When you're buying ops, your bank, it goes away so quickly. As you guys can see, light on the nades here for Luminosity. If they lose this round, they'll be on a 4-spy for the last round of the first half, and it's pretty much all over for them at that point. NaVi will be able to run away with it. FNX, though, from Shadow is going to catch Flamey looking the wrong way. And now the pressure's on here for NaVi. Can they actually hold this line? Guardian not going to miss the shot. Stops him cold, but he cannot get rid of Fur.
Still in the back line, you're right. Fallen going to pick up that kill. Cold Zero gets the kill, and that it is actually Cold Zero killing himself somehow. I'm not even sure how. I think he jumped into the middle of the map, and there is some fall distance there. So that's a bit unfortunate, but I don't think it'll have an impact on the round here. Zeus, he clutched the line last time. This time it should be almost impossible. And Fur, he's going to pick up the double kill. And FNX, how many grenades did they spend on trying to get rid of his position? They had the Molotov up on the balcony. They had flashbangs and HEs rolling into the shadows, and still they couldn't actually. And we only got the one trade, but he just stayed alive for a long time.
It's the most important one, is that first kill on these executes prevents the progress towards the bomb site for Navi. Guardian was the last one there with the op, had to stay back. He can't really do it too effective. Entering onto a bomb site can certainly get some picks, but that pop flash to help FNX out, that was a huge, huge support play from Luminosity.
Oh, wow, and T-side double up, Navi. This is a big play here. And actually, Fur, whoa, the misclick might have cost him his life there. Edward, is he going to find the headshot in the end? No, but Fur, he keeps the pressure on. And this is interesting from Luminosity. Last round of the CT half, they've played very passively in mid, and they actually decided to push Fur all the way up the top mid to throw Navi off. Navi have gone for the change of pace. Luminosity doing the same thing on their CT side.
There's actually decent control here. Zeus and Season underpass. Now Guardian and Edward are going to come back towards mid. Fur is just biding his time, though. He's just waiting, expecting there to be a smoke in this window room, and from this angle, he'll be able to get a pick once it fades, and that might catch Navi off guard. And he can hear all this as well. He can hear C's jumping up.
It's a lot of info to go off of. Fur, he's got a perfect spot. If they decide to come through here, he can catch somebody coming out of underpass, and he hears these steps as well. So information, but Zeus will find the headshot. Not going to get caught off guard. And no instant repeat coming in from Luminosity. That's all Guardian is waiting for. He's like, yep, you're down a man. You're going to have to make a play at some point, but he decides to fall off, and that's exactly when Cold starts going for the shoulder peaks. Navi, not a lucky break this time around for Guardian. Instead, they're going to have to do it the hard way and actually crack open a site.
And they are pushing into the one position where the AWP is. That might be the saving grace here as they're a man down. Taco, not going to be able to get the kill. They're pretending that it's going to be a B push. And right now, Luminosity are eating it as well. There's 3 members here. And on the other side, just Fallen holding. So he's going to hit more than just a couple of AWP shots to make this work. 18 seconds left. They're trying to make their way in. There's Fallen with the first kill. The bomb is dropped as well. 14 seconds. Navi. Surely they won't be running out of time. That'd be the worst way to lose the overtime here. He's going to try and get the Molotov in. 6 seconds left. That's going to be a bomb plant. Guardian just running in there, not worrying about any kind of coverage. And we'll see. 4-on-4 for the retake.
Now Luminosity, all of them coming from the same place as well. And this clever play. Cole, does he make it work? Nobody there to greet him, unfortunately. Now he's going to have to push in with his mates. All 4 players from Luminosity have to commit. And there's the first spot. FNX, he spots out C's, gets the headshot, but Zeus trades. Brings it back to the 3-on-3. Guardian with the angle, and Tetris not reacting in time. And the man advantage now for Luminosity. They have the kits as well, and they have the bullets too. Cold takes out Zeus, and it's all on Edward here. 1v2. Has to bait down Fallen, and he hits the shot, but Fallen will drop him. There's just not enough time. Once again, Edward coming through with the huge clutch for Navi to make all the difference.
What a play from Edward. That's about the biggest smile I've ever seen Edward have on his face.
Twice that it's in the tournament, in big rounds. Like that, I mean, the Cajun B one was pretty dirty, but that is sick. And Fallen, he's been so consistent hitting the shot so far, and he misses the one key play right there. To be able to, he had the angle on Edward as well. As soon as Edward gets his kill, boom, Fallen is in, but Edward's so on point. The shoulder peek baits out the shot.
The experience to do that and not just swing really wide to try and take that battle. But once he knows he's baited out the shot as well, he just goes for, he knows the reload time. He just peeks out, grabs the diffuser.
That's Navi winning 2 out of 3 rounds in overtime on their T side. That's half of what they got when they had 50 rounds to play with. You have to assume that they are heavily favored here going into the next half of overtime. This is going to be, it's going to have to require some really, really deep tactics coming out of Luminosity to make sure that they can at least get 2 rounds, if not 3.
It's going to be a huge struggle as well. Because like we said, I mean, look at this performance, though, from Zeus. He's got 30 kills. And this is one thing that we always touch on when we said Navi, this surge that they've had lately, is all 5 members at any point can have this kind of an impact. It wasn't always like this. It was usually just mostly Guardian going off. Flamey started being a little bit inconsistent with his performances, but now it's Edward in there. We see him having big matches in this tournament. Zeus as well. Seized has his matches as well. Every player on this Navi team carries them through stretches now.
It's just a little bit more top-heavy for Navi than it is for Luminosity. Luminosity, a little bit more consistent across the board.
You know what it obviously was? It was that picture that Markelov was tweeting earlier where they got Senia and they got Starix in there and they had everyone together, the whole NaVi gang. Soos just sort of reminding himself, oh, I remember what this was like.
Yeah, right? There was a time. But no, even in that time, Markelov was the wrecking ball, so I don't even know.
Yeah.
Anders still believes.
I mean,
Of
poor
course. Well, he had one good game this
him and Lerpus, you know, still got that.
Yeah, I'm never giving up that hope. Never. It's going to be 17-16 as we go into the second half of overtime. If you are just joining us, then you've got to stick around. It's only the first map of the grand finals here. There's so much more to come. So invite your friends, and let's see how far we could push this. NaVi, they are in prime position. They need 2 more rounds here on the CT side. And so far, they've been playing almost flawlessly on their CT side. So we'll see if it's going to work out. Fallen. That kind of start is not too bad, and they speed up behind an instant cold Sira in the middle, taking out Edward. And NaVi, should they even fight this?
No, save right off the bat because it's a very fast-paced tactic from Luminosity. This round was lost in the first 20 seconds. And now, I mean, this is the thing we talked about, how punishing it was for Luminosity to lose that first CT round in the first half of overtime. NaVi needs to keep these guns. They need to be able to have the utility. They need to be able to have the nades that they're going to need in the next round. Not only that, they need to have the option to have Guardian on and up and also drop one for Seized, try and maintain it. Oh yeah, this is all about setting up and saving. And Luminosity, of course, they're aware of this, and they don't have to worry about any money at all. They're about to win this first round, so they're going to be super solid now. So they can actually catch them out. FNX right around the angle. Are we going to have the flash? Oh, that's so good. Luminosity with the team. They remember, they're like, we have so much utility, we might as well make use of it. That's such a smart play. Even just that one kill is huge.
I mean, Moses, you've played even in CPLs. How badly outplayed do you feel when that happens? You know, you've got like some weird off angle. You're not standing in a common spot on the map, and then you see all of a couple of pixels of a flashbang and you're dead. It's just so, you're just like, oh man, what can I do now? You don't expect that kind of a pop flash whatsoever. Late in the round, bomb about to explode. It's just soul crushing. Auto Sniper is the answer, and it has been in this tournament before. We've seen some really big plays with it. Now would be about that time here. Luminosity tying the scoreline up at 17-17. Flamey going to be peeking out again right into Fallen's AWP. Zeus on the ladder. He goes down. Fur catching Edward. A gold Sierra with a shot on Guardian to bring him down, and now Seized. I don't even know what to do if you're Seized. He goes down to FNX. 18-17 Luminosity. Where is this coming from? NaVi is not prepared for this kind of aggression and pace that Luminosity has brought into overtime. And that purchase of the auto sniper on Flamey, he might be regretting that at the moment, because you can see it hurts the economy so much. Such an expensive weapon. Scout goes out onto Cease. He also has no armor. I love it that Luminosity, they're going for these aggressive plays, not because they're taking the fight to NaVi, but because they're not allowing themselves to get nervous. Slow play rounds, pressure mounts, pressure builds. You're thinking of everything that's on the line. You do not want to miss your shot. The longer you drag it out, the worse it can be. But they take a huge advantage here. They actually put themselves on map point with 2 very quick, clean rounds, just straight onto the sights, no fear at all. And there's the first shot. Fallen catches Seas peeking, and that's going to start things off strong. Even spots out Guardian, goes for the re-peek though, and Guardian not going to miss. It's a little bit too much out of Fallen, perhaps, trying to go for that re-peek once he spots the AWP having the angle. Maybe feeling just a little bit of momentum after that sick jump shot. And also, that's, I mean, we saw it with Edward in the clutch. That's also experience telling there for Guardian. He could have pulled the trigger late, gotten shoulder peeked, and then Fallen wins. But instead, he keeps his calm. He's like, yep, got you. And it allows Guardian to pick up a really cool position here where he could see if there was an execute coming. He's looking quite far, and he was just looking quite far into the hallways. I don't like that, though. Guardian being at the B bomb site with the AWP, that's your impact player. You want that weapon involved in any kind of action that occurs. Oh no, Flamey as well. They have 3 Molotovs. That position is absolutely going to get fired up. Even Su's position could get fired up here. This is really frightening right now. At least Cold Zero is not the one FX coming up. They could firebomb both these positions in the last 40 seconds here. NaVi could lose in the most horrible way possible. Edward is in jungle. He might be the only one to save them right here. Grenade coming in. Another follow-up smoke here. But Flamey, the crossfire is going to die with Sus as soon as the Molotov rains in here. 30 seconds. And Luminosity, they're just waiting for it. Guardian is still miles away. Flamey down here. They're walking out without making any noise. He's going to go for the spray, and it's a headshot instead from Cold Zero. Sus dropping the bomb once. They need a lot more right now. FNX going to pick up the kill. Edward trying to deny it. 15 seconds left. There are all the Molotovs raining into CT spawn instead. And now Guardian is finally here with the AWP. 10 seconds. Edward, he Did it once, but this time the bomb, it is going to be going down to the last second. Taco getting it in, and Edward has to clutch it again. It's now a 1v2. They've got almost no health. He could definitely do this. He looks for the shot. He gets the 1 kill in, and there's her picking it up, and Luminosity winning on Mirage.
That is an intense first map of the Grand Finals.
That is everything we could hope for, but not if you're a NaVi fan.
And that's just all. That's